Yes, we do give thanks for life and the mighty life giver. As definitely we go in life our first herbal lesson, and we and just right here on MKRC Mon Kailash Rejuvenation Center. And we just go in life our herbal lessons, as it is important that we fundamentally understand that the key aspects of our livity, our whole way that we live, what we eat and what we drink, these things are fundamentally very, very important. And as a people, if we don't know our herbs, it is detrimental to us as a people. So even today, what we're going to do specifically, we're just going to go through a couple of the herbs right here on Mount Kailash Rejuvenation Center. As you could see specifically, the area is basically just green. So when you are in the mountain, it is very important to understand that even just being here and breathing the air alone actually helps you to naturally eradicate disease, and you could actually be breathing in the herbal medicine, not just eating and drinking the teas and so on, but the breathing in of the herbal medicine is very important, so you do give thanks for life. So today what we're going to start with is just overstanding the physical self, overstanding that as a man or as a woman. I mean, when it comes to the whole aspect of your overall wellness, when it comes to the whole aspect of naturally eradicating disease, before you actually even go into the whole aspect of the herbs, because every single plant here that you've seen right now, they have plenty medicinal values. So it's not like I have to actually go into it right now or specifically to break them down, but as the course actually progress, because it's going to be like a course, and it's going to be spontaneous. So if you don't catch me live, because I really don't have a schedule. I'm not really that kind of man that literally has that particular schedule and come at 2 o'clock or whatever. From the banana skin, from this that's used to for external bleeding and all them things there, and to deal with cuts as an antiseptic, and even the back of the banana tree is utilized in the whole aspect of dealing with diabetes. So every single aspect of the whatever we have here, these things here specifically are utilized to naturally eradicate disease. So when it is that we are going onto the whole realms of this herbal course, because we are going to be doing this every day. We're going to, as we study for lesson one, every single day we're going to be discussing one plant, and we're going to go into that plant in some level. And what you're going to be able to do, you're going to be able to see the plant also, and then be able to identify it, because many of us, what we do, we not us really, many people outside there, where they follow, but they are not leaders. They don't lead themselves, so they just follow, and they just follow style and follow fashion, but still they don't really have that full understanding of how it is that they as man or woman could learn within their own self and understand how to naturally eradicate disease. So it is important that as a nation of people that we have that full understanding that yes, we naturally eradicating disease, but it's not like you have to go to a store, a herbal store, and buy the dry herbs all the time. You're supposed to be able to navigate your surroundings wherever you are in the world and be able to identify indigenous herbs grown within that specific area that you could utilize to naturally eradicate disease. So when it comes to the whole aspect of identifying herbs, it is very important to understand that where the herbs actually grow would determine the use of the herbs, because herbs grow that carry specific principles, some specific characteristics. These herbs grow in very specific areas. So not every herb that grow every single area. Specific herbs grow different areas based upon where the area is. If the area is a water, is an area rich with water, it grows in a watery area. I mean, it actually do have different characteristics. So you could say, well, if this herb grows in an area where that is very polluted, so this herb there would basically be a herb that is used to detoxify and cleanse out the physical structure. If a herb crawls, right? If a whole crawls, right? Okay, blessed love, yes. Jules B, give thanks, honorable. At a love, as we basically live MKRC doing our lesson number one of our herbal course, and the way where the herb specifically grows is very important, and it will tell you a lot about the herb. That's why they call there are signatures of herbs. So it's not that the herb is going to be utilized because it's called this and it's called that. Based upon where the herb grow, how it grows, the surrounding of the herb, all these things there are very important because it's based where the herbs actually grow that determines the characteristics of the herbs. Yes, give thanks. If it is that you are looking for a herb to clean out, let's say, okay, like right here we have water systems. Okay, so you see this vervine plant growing right next to that water system, and the vervine plant is so. We're not talking about vervine today. I'm just showing you a sample of what I'm talking about. Look at this plant. This plant is actually growing. That's a vervine plant. So you could see that the roots of the plant. You see how it's just on another tree, like literally resting on a little bit of dirt on another tree. So this herb there would have different characteristics than if you get even if you're talking about the same vervine plant. If you take another vervine plant from a dry area, very dry, and or one in a more soily soil or clay soil or whatever type of soil that it might be, based upon where the plant is, this will specifically determine what characteristics that plant actually possess. It doesn't matter if the plant is just a vervine or it's a periwinkle or stinging nettle. The type of the plant, where the plant actually is very important, right? So as we know that specifically as we are right now, we are focusing on the whole aspect of identifying the herbs, being able to have that full understanding that, yes, what the herbs are being utilized for and how it is that you're supposed to be using that herb, right? It's very important because we up here on Mount Kailash, we do our best to actually produce everything. Everything that we actually need, we work towards being able to actually produce whatever it is that we actually consume, because it is very important that whatever we eat and drink, I mean, you could see the food over there. I mean, the lettuce and you could see the man piaba, you could see everything down at the bottom here. But today we're not going into this direction. We are specifically focusing today on one specific herb today, one specific herb. And I'm going to choose that herb right now. It's not something I have premeditated. And it's herbs that grow wild here, just a herb that grow wild. So I'm going to just point out one of the herbs that just growing wild in the dirt, in the ground, in the earth. So I'm going to go to this herb here. Right, so this herb here is what we call the shadow benny, right here in St. Lucia. Erignum phaeotidum is the scientific name. And this here, it just grows wild here. They call it some people call it the holy thistle, because it's like a holy herb. Okay, so it's a herb that literally, that herb there is a herb that specifically is very holy. They call it the fitweed, right? They call it the fitweed, and that fitweed here can be utilized specifically, as the name is called fitweed. The root of that herb is basically it's a very potent root. So it's difficult to just pull out that herb out of the ground, right? This one here, you could pull it out. Why? Because it's in that, because we're right next to the river. So this here is like river gravel, okay? So it is much easier. That's a taproot system. It's much easier to actually draw this herb out of the earth, So when you look at that herb here, I mean, even before you give thanks for life and a mighty life giver, even before you actually pull it out, you block a reverence, and you turn to the east and you say a little prayer. Holy Emmanuel, I Selassie, Jah, Rastafari. Give thanks for the herbs. Give thanks for the divine creational principles of the herb. Give thanks for utilizing the herb to uplift and cleanse and purify, as we take this herb to better creation and to make creation more wholesome. Jah, Rastafari, blessed. So basically now, so we look at that herb here and we just like we shake it up, because if I really have to show you the root of that plant, and this is a herb that I have used before when someone actually has a seizure and they just fall or fits, and I just take the leaf and I just rub it. Jah, Rastafari, as that leaf here, right here, take this and just crush it up, literally. And when you crush up that leaf, what basically happens is that the odor, the smell of the phytochemicals, I'm sure it's so potent that you could smell it right in your screen. So this hair specifically, that could actually bring someone back to awareness, to consciousness, that has a fits, or a seizure. you know, whatever type of seizure that it might be. So here now, it's very, this herb there, it's to take this herb, to get this root out of the soil is like a challenge. So I'm working towards getting that root out of that soil for you, because for you to be able to see that root, you know, the taproot nature of it, it looks like a ginseng root. Eh? So as you could see, you're getting closer to it here. So it's like a ginseng root, you know. So if I tell you it's like a ginseng root, you know that it's supposed to be a herb that is good for also, you know, it has aphrodisiac properties. Okay, so just because of its taproot nature, so just because of how the plant digs itself into the earth, could actually tell you what it is used for. Most, the 99% of our aphrodisiacs, you know, all the plants that are utilized for prostatic problems, the great majority of these plants, you know, they, it's so difficult to get them out of the soil, like the guinea hen weed and all them herbs there. To get these herbs out of the soil, you know, you literally have to just, you know, use a pickaxe or a fork or one of these things here specifically. So this here, I'm just going to take a piece out of it and dig around it to see how it is that we could just get this one out, so at least you could see the root of it, you know. So, and this smells awesome. You know, the Mexicans use it in their cooking, you know. The Spanish people use it in their cooking a lot, you know. So it's called shadow benny, very important herb. I mean, if you have fits and seizures, you could literally use it. Or the roots got broken a bit, right? But if you, it got broken a bit here, the roots, the little part of the root got broken, but you give thanks for what is there. So the root, if you look at the root itself, you could see how it looks like a man, eh? And this looks like a little penis here. Or you could say even this one, it look like a penis on the side. The man standing up and the man is penis and he's peeing out. You see, also this would have been like a big root. So this here basically, and how the plant looks itself, it could tell you what properties that it has. So this is utilized also for diabetes. You know, a very good antiseptic also. So you could burn it to actually clear the air. You know, but they use it as a condiment in cooking. Very, very, very rich. So you could dry this herb and place in your pillow if you are having fits and seizures. And this herb there could actually help you as a man or as a woman or as a child with your fits and your seizure. Okay, so you got the fitweed, the shadow benny, Ericnum foetidum. All right, so this you could pound it in a mortar and pestle, spit out a juice and drink it. You could boil the roots, right, and make a tea with it. You know, you could put it in some, you could actually ferment it, right, in some fruits and get a nice tincture from it, right? Or you could put it in some calabash syrup and you get a nice, you know, nerve tonic made out of the calabash syrup and this, and plus one to other nerve helping, you know, plants. This is how it looks like a man. Yeah, champion, right? So definitely when we understand the whole act of the signatures of the herb, then you understand what the herbs are used for. And this is a herb that's growing wild here. It literally just grows right within the area here, you know, and we have plenty other herbs growing within the area, but we do give thanks as today, as we are focusing principally on the whole aspect of this herb, the shadow benny, you know. And this herb is a herb that is utilized in a lot of cooking, and people, you know, who understand that herb still understand the full benefits of it. You know, so we grew up using these things in our cooking and everyday eating and drinking, and you know, your little teas, and this is something natural. So what we are talking about is making the herbal levity a natural levity for you, a levity whereby what you eat and what you drink becomes you, a levity whereby your everyday live it, how you eat and how you live. You can see the sun, that's nothing, just look at it. How you eat and how you drink, all these things there are specifically aspects of your creational self. You don't wait until you get sick or because you're following a fad or because somebody said that you begin to follow. What you have to do specifically is be able to live the life on a day-to-day basis. That's why it's what's it called, a levity. It's a levity. It's a way of living. You know, so living the life and knowing the herbs, understanding the herbs, and not just going to the market and buying the herbs. Definitely we give thanks for that. So what we'll do, if you have any questions, we're just going to take a couple of questions, probably 7 questions, you know. We're going to take 7 questions right now for those people who might want to ask any question about the herb that we've looked at today, called the shadow benny or the Ericnum foetidum, as we're going live, and we are definitely live, and we sit up on the throne. So we give thanks, basically. So anyone who has any questions, we'll just take a couple of questions for those people who have some questions. Yes, Jules B. Good morning. Blessed love, glorify. North Carolina Geo. Yes, Nika Stafari. Blessed love, honorable. Give thanks for the knowledge. Awesome. North Carolina, all right. Share love, philanthropy. Blessed love, honorable. Give thanks. Divine Noel, my Lord. I and I put the eyes present. Give thanks. This is a dream in hand. Give thanks. Thank you, man. It's okay. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna get that to you, my brother. Good up. Good morning, honorable priest Nicole. Right. Blessed love to multi-talented King. Give thanks. So definitely, as we have looked at the whole aspect of the shadow Benny, which is the Ericdom Phyotidum, as you could see, it looks like a strong man. You see the roots, that root system is a powerful root system. So this system shows you that this plant here can be utilized to naturally eradicate many of the manhood problems that people have. Right? So that you could actually just wash it and eat it. Okay, so this plant specifically is utilized daily in cooking in many different cultures. So it is not that you wait until you get sick to utilize the herb, right? Honorable, bless, pass me the herbal manual, please, from up there. A herbal manual. Yours, right? So what we are doing specifically is understanding that the herbs, knowing them, how to utilize them, you know, how to cook them, if you cook them, how to eat them, how to juice them, how to actually deal with the herbs is fundamentally extremely important. And if it is that as a people we don't begin to open up our minds and stop just being like blind followers and people who actually could help the leader. Because if you know what you're about, you could help the leader because you could discover something that I never know before. You know, you could do something that I never did before. You know, why? Because you have that talent within your own self as a man or as a woman. So it's important to have that full understanding. So remember that today our first lesson is being able to identify the area where the herb is actually grown and also being able to link up where the herb is grown to the properties of the herb, right? So if it is that we don't have that full understanding, it will be very difficult for us. So we'll take some questions right now. Those of you who, no, the name, that's not the St. Lucia. Ericdom Phyotidum is the scientific name. It's the name that is used internationally. So if you just go and you search it out, F-O-E-T-D-U-M, something like that, right? You could actually go on Phyotidum, T-I-D-U-M, something like that. I'm gonna give you the correct spelling of it shortly. If you actually go through that, then you'll be able to understand and the fitweed, right, or the spirit herb. Just look and you'll see one that looks like that because you see it live, right? This is the name that is actually utilized for it, and it is used for nervous problems, you know, any problem to do with blood sugar regulation, impotence, erectile dysfunction, you know, all these different diabetes, right? It's also an antiseptic. This you could use by just brushing it, scrubbing and inhaling it. All the essence actually get within your physical structure. So it is very important that you learn how to survive in the wild because you might be out there living the life, and then you're talking about all the different types of herbs in the world, but you still don't have that full understanding that look that you might be in the wild and the herb is right in front of you, and you're not even able to actually identify the herb, right? So it is important to learn of the herbs, learn of the culture of the herbs, right? So Ericdom Phyotidum, this is basically, if you look on right here on the herbal manual, right? So you could see it right here. So the herbal manual on page 86. I mean, if you don't have your herbal, the copy of the herbal manual, definitely you have to go on priestkailash.com, and also on Amazon. Just search for the herbal manual, the Matrix of Herbal Medicine, Honorable Priest Kailash K. Leons. I mean, definitely you'll get that. Or you just go on to priestkailash.com, get your copy. So it says the fitweed, you know, so so the name, scientific name, you know, Ericdom Phyotidum, you know, so I'm not English, I'm not Latin, so I just say it as it is. So you could research it, check it out, and see, you know, how it is, right? So you have specifically, so they say fitweed has been used, right, in the Americas and Africa as a condiment and as a herbal medicine. So our food is our medicine is our food. Okay, so it says the leaf is usually crushed and rubbed over the face and nasal passage of unconscious people to aid in their revival. Okay, so also it is very effective in the treatment of fits and seizures. The tea of the leaf has been used to help with chills, fevers, flu, pneumonia, and diabetes. The root is an aphrodisiac and is implemented in the relief of erectile dysfunction in men. You know, says the fitweed has some anti-convulsion activity and also contains essential oils and is substantially and is of substantial nutritional value. It is now being used extensively in the treatment of diabetes. So I'm the one who wrote this. I'm just reading it for you. At the end of the day, properties: nerve-vine, aphrodisiac, anti-convulsion, aromatic, and expectorant. So there you are, ways that you could use it. Remember, the herbal manual. You need to get your copy so at least you could continue your class, because this is just like lesson 1. As you could see the yaba pot here, and you could see, so this is just like, like lesson number 1 of our herbal class, and definitely we'll be continuing and educating you and uplifting you on how it is that you as a man or as a woman supposed to basically get things organized. So the herbal manual is our official textbook. We just begun. We're going to show you how to use your mortar and pestle, how to extract the juices, how to boil it down, how to do all manner of things. So in the uprising, which is tomorrow or even later today, this is going to be spontaneous. Lesson 1, lesson 2. If you catch it live, you catch it live. If you don't, you're going to have to watch the repeat, right? So give thanks again for all those of you that have been with us today. Give thanks, as you know well. When you approach the herbs, you deal with the herbs with love, understanding, compassion, and understand that you are going to be integrating that herb within your physical self, right? You have to be able to integrate that herb into your physical self. So you don't actually traumatize the herb and don't ask the herb for permission. And then what will happen is that specifically the actual contents of that herb would become something toxic to you. So begin to understand how it is to deal with the herb, address the herb, harvest the herb, utilize the herb to naturally eradicate your disease. So definitely we give thanks to all of those of you who have been with us today. And may the Almighty Creator keep on blessing you and make His holy face shine upon your holy face. Jah Rastafari. PriestKailash.com. You could order the herbal manual right there, or go on Amazon and order it, whichever one. But PriestKailash.com, we get 100% of the benefits. But still now, you know how the system is. Everything have a little cut. So wherever way you order it, it's good for us. Give us a call. Definitely you'll be able to get that. God is love. Let us all love. Blessed love.